Yo, what's good everybody? Hope you're doing well. So this is a series where we go over the full move list of a character, today's character being Jun. So we're just going to go over all the moves, see what we can duck, what we can step, what we can punish, all that sort of stuff. So let's get into it. So we'll start off with moves that go into heat. So she got 1+2, which gives her heat engage of +17 like the others. This is punishable at -12. So forward 2-2. Tracks well to the tracks better to the left than the right. I feel like Jun's weak side is the right. Like from playing against her, Jun's weak side definitely seems to be the right anyway. So this is actually like forward 2 on its own. This is a weird one because forward 2 as a move on its own is heavily punishable, but she can cancel it into this, and if she does, then it turns into a heat engager, not a launcher, like forward 2 is. And there's no you can. Right, jails. It completely jails, so there's nothing you can do. Like you can mash inputs. There's no interrupting it at all. It's just safe. It's one of those. So she has a sidestep move that's plus on block. It's quite linear. But it is a heat engager, and it's plus on block, so you need to be careful of pressing that. But again, if you're moving, I'd definitely say move right against Jun. It doesn't track very well at all. So she has this move. This move is it's a weird one because it comes from a stance, but because of how plus she's in a stance, it's kind of you can step this to the right, but it's one of those that it's so dodgy sometimes that you just get caught. But you always want to go right against her stance. But it jails. It's -6, so it's technically your go. But if you see her going to this stance, it's a weird one. I mean, so we'll cover it more with a stance, but I've noticed sidestep right beats a lot of stuff. But she can be hard to punish, and like, look, sometimes I'm getting clipped. It's just one of those weird. Like I'm getting hit, but I feel like I'm stepping at the same time. I feel like it just wants to choose if you're gonna get hit or not, even though I'm doing the same thing. I don't understand this stance properly yet. I feel like there might be some changes to the way this works, because some stuff's really easy to step, like this move, but then you just get clipped sometimes, even if you feel like you step at the same time. So I'm pretty unsure about this, the way her stance works, but we'll get into more stuff of her. So she has this heat engager, launch punishable, -20. Tracks really well. I mean, if you step in early, but if you try step on reaction to that, you're probably going to get hit. If you step on the reactions to the animation, you're probably going to get hit. But if you just step in neutral to the right, you'll be fine. A heat. This fully like recovers a grey health bar. Does good damage, and it's I-13, so it's a fast one as well. And she has a low one. -14. So 3-2 punish that. It's only from stance. It's only from stance that she has that. So 1-1. It's -1, but as you can see, it's not like a crouching thing. But you always want to mid check this, because I'm pretty sure she can she goes into stance or something. Let me just check. I feel like she goes into stance. Yeah, so she does. She goes into stance, and she has a... so this is what would happen if you jabbed. Oops. Oh, what is the input? I think... Is it 4? It might be 4. Yeah. Oh, well. This is what if you jab straight away, you're fine. But if you're like late, because you're like it looks weird. You'll get high crush into that low. It's one of those. I'd always check with back 3 there. That's definitely what I'd do there. So she's had a 1-2 that jails, same as everybody else really. So she has 1-2-2. This is +6 on block. Goes into stance. It does not jail. Even if you get hit by the first 2 hits, you can always duck the 3rd hit. And on block, you can duck the 3rd hit as well. They use this for a stance mix-up, but you can always duck. Even if you get hit, you can always duck the 3rd hit of this. So you want to be doing that. There is a mid option, which is this. But I won't be too scared about this if they're going to use... so it's -12. It just knocks back. So if you duck, like, you lose a bit of health, but it resets the neutral. And it does nothing on counter hit. Apart from it knocks down, but it does nothing big on counter hit. Like, you don't lose any health. For the sake of risking ducking for the launcher, I feel like it's worth it. Unless they constantly start using this and not then you can just block and punish. But I feel like it's better to duck in that situation because I don't think that does that much. Unless you're going to die for it. Let's just share that 1-3. I think, is it 13? Oh, it's 12. But it doesn't matter to us because we don't have a 13 frame, so we use 12 anyway. Okay, so this move can't be stepped. It can be interrupted, yeah. But it can't be stepped. So you can... I think it's just 10 frames. Yeah, just... Hold on. Yeah, so you trade at 11. So you want a 10 frame interrupt this 1, 2, 3. And then this is how you deal with that one. This the same. No, that's to stop you interrupting it, and then it's a high. So hold on. So down jab seems to be an option select against both, because it'll 10 frame interrupt the other one, and it'll go into that one. But if you want to go for the read, that's a high. Does it jail? Not natural. Natural if the second hit counter hits. But last hit's a high. And the second hit seems to be safe at -6. So you want to duck the last hit of that string. Oh yeah, she's got this standing free. Just one of those knockdown hits. But even though it just looks like a standard mid check, it's actually punishable. So you want to be punishing that. 1+2, we covered that. That's a heat engager. 3+4 leaves you at -6. Really linear. So again, if you want to be moving right as much as possible against Jun, and that'll whiff. So launch punishable, but you don't want to let it to get to that stage. The 3rd hit's a high. You want to be ducking the 3rd hit. You don't ever want to let it get past that stage because of this. And she's got a low, which is launch punishable as well. So both hits launch punishable, but you don't ever want to let it get past the 3rd hit so you don't get mixed for that. Oh, a bit slow there. You don't ever want to let it get past the 3rd hit. Just duck the 3rd hit for sure. That's the mix to it. It's not really seen too much. You can interrupt. Is it 14? Oh, you can't. Is it 13? Yeah, trade at 13. Tracked quite well. Track's left. Track's right. Yeah, so you just want to interrupt. I wouldn't go with forward 2-2 in case they don't finish it. But then again, not really going to be used more than the other string, I'd say. And then go. This is not interruptible? No. Oh, so it's just a 50-50 there. Yeah, it's just a 50-50 there. So it's interruptible or low parry really is pretty much what you're going to go for there. Or just block and wait for the last hit, I guess. This is one of those. I think it goes into stance. Yeah, shifts into stance. So if she ever does stuff like this, just mid-check. Always just mid-check. Don't get mixed for it. She can't go into stance. She can't do any stance mix-ups, says she. Always mid-check. Oh, so this is the forward 2 on its own. I was discussed earlier about it being the heat engager. She does it on its own. It's a launcher. And very unsafe. Obviously, if she does the second hit, it turns into a heat engager. But it's very launch punishable. This is what we were talking about. That makes it safe. But it completely jails, so you can always try hop kick after it. You can always try hop kick there, and it won't come out. So this is mainly used in combos, but if they decide to use it in the neutral, then it is a high. It is natural. It's 16 frame, it is natural, so if you get hit by it, then you're in a guessing situation with a low or a mid. And then if you block it by accident, you probably want to sidestep right. Maybe duck as well. This is the mix-up to catch people from ducking. You need to be careful with... I'd be careful with forward 2-2 here, because in actual games, I've had forward 2-2 whiff for some reason. Don't know if I can recreate it, but I have had it whiff. I don't know if it's because of how far back I was when I blocked it. But I have had forward 2-2 whiff, but it seems to be quite consistent there. So it's just a high. I think it's just to stop you from walking. Yeah, it's just a homing high. A lot of people have that these days. Wow, that gives a lot. Plus 26 and puts her in like this, whatever stance that's called. But it is a high. You're not going to react to it though. It's just a read on ducking that. This is stance transition. This is a Sabaki. Timed with a punch will launch. It is a high. The thing is about this is 0 on block, so be careful what you challenge with after, because there will be like side steps or setups or counter hit setups or like that they'll Jun players will know. Obviously I'm not a Jun player, so I'm not sure what they'll go for, but with it being 0, I imagine they would. So what was that? Sorry, it was down forward 1-1. Down forward 1-1 is the mid version. If you duck, you just get knocked back and she's at +2. But it is -11, but she has down forward 1-2. This is a high. You need to duck and launch. -4, so they'll probably do some janky stuff if you block it. But it is a high. Down forward 2, like a lot of people's down forward 2 is -12 to 13, but hers is 12. So if you see them throwing that out for a launch, you need a forward 2-2 that, or 4-2 if you've got Starburst. This is the thing, you can always attempt to punish it, but they can make it safe, and it's still a launcher. And there's no reason for them not to make it safe, in my opinion. It's still a launcher. But you can always, it's safe, but you can always go for the 12 frame in case they don't do that. Down forward 3 is a homing move, stop people stepping, a mid version. Down forward 4, this is really quick, so it's kind of hard to punish it just because of how quick it is, but it is actually -14. It's a knockdown and it's a counter hit launcher. It is -14. I know it's quick and it's going to be really hard to punish, but you know, at least the knowledge is there in case you ever react to it. Interruptible, 12, trade at 13 like most stuff, and you can't step it. Oh, you can step it left. Oh wait, you see what I mean about Jun? Yeah, I wouldn't step it. I'd just interrupt it. I'd probably go 2-1 just to be safer. Then forward 2-2 in case they don't do the second hit. that's the low version. Oh, so this is a -4, but it leaves us in crouch. See, this should be uninterruptible. Maybe she could parry after it. Like, that might be a parry setup, I'm not sure. It's a counter hit launcher. And on hit, +9. So that's not a bad move, actually. Down 4-4 is a low high. It's one of those, if you don't hold back, you're going to get hit by both hits. Like, if you don't hold back. You have to hold back and you can block it. But you want to be ducking it because you can duck it. Apart from it's a count. On counter hit you can't, but every other time you can duck it. This is a natural hit launcher and it's safe as well. And look at the pushback. Look at that. You gotta be careful what you challenge with. It's not one of those that you can just back free check. So cans, this is a low. Very punishable. If you're not holding back, you'll get launched. And if you get counter hit, you get launched. But it jails, so if you eat the low, you can't duck the high. But if you're ducking and you get a read on it, then it's launch punishable. This whole string jails, by the way. Like, if you watch, when I get hit by the first hit, if I press every button, you can't do. It's a natural string. It's 15 frames. It's a 15 frame punish, but it's launch punishable. But the whole string jails itself. Actually, an annoying low. -12. This is actually a really annoying low. And she's +2 on it as well, which is really annoying. I think this is a really good low. Most of our lows seem to be -12, which is fine for us because we don't have 13, so 12 is fine for us. If you get hit by the first hit, you can still low parry the second hit of this. But always go for the low parry. Don't go to block. Because it's safe. After the first hit, you can always interrupt. Yeah, so you can always interrupt with while standing 1-1. But I'd always do while standing 4, because the first hit's -11. So this will always punish. But if you block the second hit, and they only do 2 hits, you can interrupt with that. But it won't class as a punish. That won't class as a punish. So you need to low parry. You need to low parry the second hit. I mean, yeah. Always go for the low parry there. This is a safe low because I've had this whiff like that. It's -10, so you are meant to be able to dick jab it, but the dick jab can whiff like that. So if you see that, you want to low parry it every time. It's quite reactable, to be fair. It's quite slow. Oh yeah, on counter hit it. Do good to that. But we don't want to get counter hit by that. So she's got a free hit string from that. If she does the first 2 hits, she can go into stance, which I'll show you. I think. Yeah. So she presses forward. She can go into stance and do a mix up from stance. But the second hit's a high, so you can duck that if you can react to that. The third hit's punishable if you don't want to duck. And the reason you might not want to duck is probably the next one. Oh no, it shouldn't show this one first. So that's safe. Counter hit launcher. Safe counter hit launcher. But you want to duck the second hit there. prefer it's a high. I'd always just stay blocking. I won't even risk ducking that just because of the mids. But she does have this, which will stop you from ducking the second hit. Because this is safe. Don't do any damage, but this is safe. But yeah, this is to stop you ducking the second hit. But I mean, I'd probably start ducking it. I think they'd use the high a bit more. Well, especially the newer players would use the high a bit more. The high tournament level players won't use the high too much because they're getting ducked. But that's a safe mid check, so there's no reason not to use that for them. Back 3, minus 19. Back 4 to usually punish for that. You can 1+2. You don't want to use your heat. But I feel back 4-2's it's whiffing a lot here. I feel like it just adds more pressure. Like 1+2 is nice, it knocks down. They can both technically whiff, and 1+2 can do that if you're not in like the closest of ranges. You can only get the first hit sometimes. Oh, it's been quite consistent there. There, that, like that. So I feel like back 4-2 is the safer option to go for. If you want to punish. But they both can whiff technically, depending on tip range. But that's the punish we'd go for. This will always hit if they do their follow-up. Same with 1+2. If they do the follow-up, because they're coming towards you, so it will always hit. Yeah, any of the follow-ups, really, it'll always hit. Punishable. Counter launcher, so be careful. I think that's really delayable as well. That looks like it's going to be really delayable. What's the input? Back 4-2. Let me just check that. Yeah, it is delayable. Not as delayable as down forward 3-1, but like Claudio's down forward 3-1. But it's delayable, so it can catch you. Be careful with that one. Oh, it's just yeah, whatever. Power, minus 12 power crush, that's decent from her. Big knockdown, probably wall spots. But minus 12. Unblockable. But you just walk it. Oh, it's just to go into a mix up. It's a high though, innit? So it's just one of those. You're not going to react to that. It's just one of those moves. Minus 3. Wow, that's got a lot of a block recovery. Like, it takes me ages to press back 3 there. Like, I'm mashing it now. It takes ages to come out, but probably back 3 is your check there. This jails, but it's a 10 frame punish. But it's minus 14. It's a good punish as well. You want to side roll if you get hit by that. So you don't get a follow up all happening like that. You don't want to get like forward 2 or anything launched for it, for getting up backwards. Safe launcher. Well, not. I don't think. Is it the launcher one? Oh no, it's the knockdown one. It's the counter hit launcher one. Yeah, counter hit, safe counter hit launcher. Minus 6. You probably want a mid check so you don't get parried or anything like that. This is a hop kick. This will catch a lot of people playing at first because you feel like you can press there. You feel like she's done a hop kick, but you can't interrupt. You need to block both hits before you can punish, but you don't have to because you can step right in between this. So if you see it, just step right. If she just does the first hit, it's launch punishable, but they're not going to probably do that because the second it seems to catch a lot of people. But if you forget to sidestep, minus 12. And if you've got good reactions to the move, just sidestep right. Right, it's a knockdown move. It's safe here, it's linear. So it's one of those where I feel like if you're playing against Jun, you want to be moving right a lot of the game. Like just naturally moving right all the time, and I think a lot of her stuff's going to whiff. Minus 13. I feel like forward 2-2 might be inconsistent sometimes. 2-1 should be pretty consistent. But we'll see. This is a setup. You need to be careful pressing after this because you're going to whiff. And then you'll get launched for it. Oh, so they'll be looking. That's what they'll be looking for with that. Even though it's a higher, you're probably not going to duck because in the mids, but they'll be don't press after that because they'll be looking for a whiff to launch you. Sidewalk right. Again, it's one of those where she just clips you for some reason, and then sometimes she doesn't. It's one of those. You got to realign your punishment. So what you do here is you sidestep and then press forward so that you realign to her. And then you can punish. You can jab interrupt. Trade at 12. Yeah. So you can jab interrupt or sidewalk right. I'd recommend sidewalk right. Or sidestep right. Don't sidewalk. She's plus 6 there, but she actually loses health on this. I mean, if it hits, it does a chunk. She's plus 6, it's her go. It's quite linear to the right, but on block she actually loses life as well as you. Running free, plus 3. This is, oh yeah, this is only plus 3. You'll trade with like a mid check here. Linear though. So you've got a free hit. Second, it's a high. But if you don't block it, the third hit is... Yeah, so the first 2 hits will be the punishment, a 12 frame punishment. And if you block the first 2 hits, the last hit will be to catch you off guard, thinking it's your go. But it's like Claudio's while standing 1-1, it's a high. And she has the safe version. And there's no reason they won't go for that one instead. Yeah, they'll probably go for that. So you want to duck the second hit there. Alright. Again, don't press buttons there, or you get whiff punished for it. But duck the second hit again. Oh, that's natural as well. So if you duck the second hit there, you're going to get hit. Oh, no, wait. No, it's not natural. It's launch punishable. You can vault. Yeah, you can block the last hit. Even on hit. Oh, wait. I feel like sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Oh, it seems to be quite consistent. I don't know. Yeah, you can block the last hit. Well, then there's a mid mix-up. Tracks to the right, but not the left. It's just a mix-up game now, really, isn't it? Uninterruptible. Yeah, it's just minus 12. 12 frame punish that. Wow, she has a lot of while standing moves. This is a 14 frame launcher, minus 13, so you want to forward 2-2 that. Yeah, she has a 14 frame launcher, so be careful. Well, to be fair, it doesn't really matter to us. We're either launch punishable or minus 13. We're not really minus 14. Oh, well, apart from sidestep forward, minus 12. While standing forward, minus 12. It should be like minus 2 or something. Yeah, minus 2. Just be careful on this because she'll whiff as well. But this is a counter hit, guaranteed like launcher. Be careful with that. Whilst if you want to back 4-2 that. Or 1+2. Oh, I mean hop kick is alright, but yeah, no, actually hop kick's quite consistent there. You can hop kick. Oh, but there you go. Step left. You can step either way after this. And then launch. Oh, this is like a 10 frame. Launch punishable. But it's a 10 frame punish. Yeah. And she's got a low. Minus 11. I hate that this is minus 11. She's a counter hit guaranteed while standing free or whatever it is. Launcher. Launch punishable, full crouch low. You gotta be really careful if you're gonna duck a full crouch low. Make sure you punish the right one. One's while standing forward, one's launch. One of those. Okay, so you wanna low parry the third hit, which seems to be the case on a lot of people's 10 hits. But then after the spinning high, if you don't get it, if you see the spinning high there, the next hit's a low. So you can always all block, and then you see the spinning high, you want to duck. So you got a side step 2, which is safe. And just counter hit, knockdown, and a knockdown on normal hit. Safe, so there's nothing we can do about that. Side step 4 is plus, but it's linear. We've covered that. Oh, that jails. Yeah, that completely jails. Yeah, you can mash between it. It's just one of those. It's just one of those. She has a lot of moves. So when she goes into stance, she has a high. You can duck it. So I mean, you can step right against the stance and punish as well. But that's a high. And she has a mid version. She's punishable. Again, you can step right. So I know you definitely want to be going right against this character. And then she has a launcher. I think that this is a weird. Yeah, this is a weird one. You can step right and block, but it can hit you. And left, yeah, but you want to go right. But it's punishable. Yep. Right, and then you'd have to follow her by tapping forward. But it's jails. You can't duck the second hit, and it's a heat engager. So if you see the you have to dash for that one, but you can confirm that. And then she's got a low mix-up, which is launch punishable. But it tracks right as well, so you'd have to sidestep duck there, but then you'd get hit by the launcher. But you'd avoid the other mids. So she does have a little bit of a mix-up there. You don't want to ever let her get into that stance, really. Minus 12. Again, you can step right. Don't really have to dash for that one. This you can't step right, this one, okay. You can't interrupt it, it's just you have to hold it and it's safe. And she gets a counter hit stun there, okay, nice. This is from her other stance. She has a low, minus 13, so obviously towards while standing 1-1. Quite linear, so when you see her in that stance again, move right. There's a 2. This tracks really well. This is punishable. So you want a sidestep block here. And it's punishable. Minus 13. This tracks goal. And again, sidestep right block. Probably go left actually. This stance might be. Nah, well. Could be more linear to the left in this stance, I guess. But sidestep right block seems to do well against this character anyway, in neutral, so I won't be against that. But left seems to track it. Yeah, that's a high. You get a read on that. She's a knockdown. Same on normal hit. This character's got a lot of moves. We've seen this, Wow, launch principle. Yep. So this is what she does like for follow-ups from certain moves, basically. Ah, nice. So that goes into that, which is a high duckable. We've seen that string. There are throws. She has a 2 throw. Need to break with a 2 with your triangle or Y or whatever it is. This is what it looks like on hit. There's no Oki you can get up, I think. Maybe they have a grounded hit or something, but there'll be something. She has a 1+2 throw, which looks like this. Which looks like there'll be something there if you move or don't move. But it's a 1+2. She has that. That's a launcher throw. So she can launch there, but it's a 1+2 as well. One plus 2. This is her parry. I don't think forward 2 is guaranteed there. Well, let's have a look. Maybe I didn't do forward. I didn't do forward 2 long enough, I don't think. That should be long enough. Yeah, if you hold up, you won't get hit by that. But if you get up backwards... Oh no, you can just get up backwards, to be fair. It's not guaranteed. That's not guaranteed. There'll be something they can do, but that's not actually guaranteed. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's Jun. She's got a lot of moves. She's actually really, really strong. In general, you want to be going right against this character. She's got a few highs that you need to make sure you're probably ducking, because the mids aren't too scary from like the strings. But yeah, she's a really strong character, to be honest. She's going to be a very difficult because of how many moves she actually has and how many options she actually has from like different strings, different stances. But I hope you learned something, and see you in a bit.